you definitely got a catalog full of music. So
Yes.
I would like to know from the first project all the way up to now, what was the foundation and the concept and even the growth from that to now?
All right. So back in the day, I was in a group called the Hardheads, the late '90s, and we put out an album. It was like a 5-song album. Learned a lot, but then I took a break. So I came back. So as a solo artist, my first project was in like 2012, and for years I was just sitting here making beats and just trying to get better and better at rapping and just working with other people. But I never said I'm going to make a project. So I made a project called the Guillotine EP. It's called the Guillotine EP. And it's okay. It was like a start off. It was like, okay. At the first time when I made it, I thought it was really, really good. It was because that was my best. And now when I hear it, I can do better. And so then I made an album called Identity Crisis. And I feel that way now. Like, man, I can do better. So every time I make an album, man, I want to make it better and better and better. And yeah, so the Guillotine EP, Identity Crisis. And right now I'm trying to work on like a singing, light, gentle, fun, praise, worship album where I'm not really rapping much at all. And then after that, I'm going to come with like really hard boom bap. Not just boom bap, but also like trap, just everything, just in your face stuff.
Okay.
So I don't know if that answers your question, but there's a part of me. I just did this last night, guys. I watched Leaders of the New School on Arsenio Hall back in the day. The Busta Rhymes, man, and they were, I don't know if I can get out of the camera, they were like, you know.
They just do that.
Yeah. And I was like, man, that was fun. So much fun. And then, I didn't even do this on purpose, I promise. I went to Double XL and watched Childish Gambino and some of these rappers today, and they were just standing still, and they were mumbling, man.
Yep.
And just standing still. And I was like, that other stuff was so much fun. So even as a Christian artist, I still have a tunnel rat in me where I want to make something and not really bash somebody else, but to show even these guys, if they ever even had a chance to hear it, man, because I'm not famous, but to show everyone this is how it should be done. And so after working with this album that I'm trying to work now, where it's a lot of singing. You ever heard of 21 Pilots?
Yeah.
Okay.
21 Pilots?
Yeah, because I just saw them on TV 2 days ago.
Yeah. So this album's kind of like that, where it's like electro, Jamaican, techno, a little hip hop in it. After that, man, I really want to unleash, because I've had spurts where I've been able to unleash, and now I just really want to unleash and just do the best that I can do to the extent that I can do to my fullest capability. And then I want to be able to show everybody, man, this is how it really should be done. So maybe in 10 years, if I don't rap anymore, you know, people can look back and say, man, hey, that was pretty awesome. Now that's outside of ministry. I mean, I'm not saying I don't want to involve ministry, but as far as the ministry aspect, there's got to be a dope Christian rapper somewhere. Lecrae's good, okay? His music's. I love you, Lecrae. If you ever see this, but you may not, or you may, you never know. Your music's great. Your music's better than your rap, but your music's great, and I love you as a person and your spirit that you have. But I really love propaganda. And really love propaganda. And there's nothing wrong with it, man. We don't have those dope MCs. We don't have, at CHH, we don't have Jay-Z's.
Nope.
We had people that sound like him back in the day, like The Truth.
Yeah.
Back in the day, but now he sounds like somebody else. Still sounds really good. But we don't have Eminems, man. We don't have Jay-Z's. We don't have Tupac's, Biggie's. I'm talking about old rappers. I can't even how bad hip-hop is now. I can't even reference a current rapper. that I can think of where I would say we don't have those good rappers anymore unless they come from the old school.
Mm-hmm.
Nas, but we have the propagandas.
Yep.
Very close.
Close.
Very close. I even like, man, I can't even remember that guy's name. Gemstones. Gemstones is another one.
Ooh.
Very close. He might be up there. He might be.
Yeah.
If you guys haven't heard Gemstones, was it Fire in the Heart or something like that? You remember that song?
Man. I'm behave.
Okay.
Hey, you know what? Speaking of artists, man, I think there's one particular artist that a lot of people don't give credit to, and that's Ken.
Cannon?
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, besides the whole double timing thing, he really puts out Christian lyrics in a way people can understand.
Oh, yeah.
No, that's true.
That's true. That is true. And, it's obvious, hip hop is embedded in you. So, if possible, is it a good way to say this? Is it difficult for now artists who are lyrical to be heard and especially in this time of day when with certain rappers are not even simple, even on both sides?
Yeah. I think a mistake that many artists make. I tried to tell Gemstones this. Gemstones had a conference call, but all his fans started kind of jumping on me. They weren't rude. They were jumping against what I said. And he eventually went with his fans, I think.
Mm.
You can't have a whole album where it's all serious and all 100% lyrical. You can, but it's not going to get heard that much, which answers your question.
Okay.
But if you want to get heard and you want to do the smart thing, then you need to do what Tupac did. When he had All Eyes on Me, he had, I'm not going to mention the names of the songs, especially if kids are watching.
But, their parents may already know half of the playlist.
Okay, I don't know, Hit 'Em Up, maybe one. I can't remember some of the songs. He had good, fun song, To Live and Die in L.A.,
Mm-hmm.
kind of. But they were California Love was a party song.
Mm-hmm.
The lyrics are super simple, although I love them.
Yeah.
I mean, they're basic, but then when you get into his album, like Machiavelli, and then you hear the darker content, what's that song? Blasphemy is a song.
Mm.
Now, it's anti-Christian. Tupac is not a Christian. He's anti-Christian. And so I'm not promoting Tupac in that way, but I'm using Tupac as an example. Whether you're a Christian rapper or a secular rapper, if you're a serious lyrical rapper, you need to have songs that people can dance to. And that's what I told Gemstones. And he said, okay, I'll record 2 songs like that. And then all the fans started saying, like, no, we like Gemstones the way he is. And he was pointing at them and he just kind of ignored me. So, but I'm just a fan, just like everybody else. So he doesn't really know me like that. But if you want it to be heard, you got to have those songs. You got to have like Lecrae songs, fun songs. And then so people will listen to that, then they go listen to the rest of your album. And it's like, whoa, that's what Lecrae's doing. Switch it. Lecrae's doing it that way with the gospel. He's turning his songs into some fun songs, like with E40, and some basic songs and some serious songs. So if a secular person who doesn't know about Christ hears his music, man, I like that. They'll go listen to the album and he may have a couple songs that are about Christ. And then they'll cling to it. But that's what you got to do with serious songs, lyrical songs. You got to have a couple where people can have fun and dance to and nod their head to and not really think about what you're saying, but just kind of disappear in the live performance. But I haven't mastered that yet because every time I write something, I want to get in detail.
Mm-hmm.
So I haven't mastered the fun party songs. But if you can help me, I would love it.
I'm kind of in that same boat, but hopefully
No, I'm
we'll
not
get.
saying you're not lyrical, but I'm saying if you can help me with it.
I'm like, from me perspective, on my perspective of especially the route that Lecrae is going, I ain't gonna front. At first, I was kind of like sit back and see how far this is gonna go, and then when Anomaly came out, it kind of got me in a position of okay, cool. This could have been a great hip hop album if the last four track wasn't on it. And some of y'all can checked out those previous clips of what I'm talking about, the Anomaly review. And then as time passes by, and it's like the more he get acknowledged, and the more the music starts sounding more hip hop. It kind of got me in the back burner, like, where's the gospel? Like, because I always say, like, I probably need to hear it like 5 more times before I could be like, there it is, there it is, right there. And I ain't gonna front on that. Like, it was definitely difficult for me to like 100, like at least 50% accept it as this could be the new method, the new thing, and all that stuff. And as time passes by, even like the whole Reach Record roster kind of took that Anomaly formula and kind of and injected it into their lanes, especially like Tadashi, who is now more of the top 40 type of artist as opposed to like hip hop. And Andy Mineo, in my opinion, kind of have Lecrae up a notch have Lecrae above him as far as his Neverland EP and the Uncomfortable project. I think he got Lecrae up one as far as putting out a complete hip hop album. Like you, like and it's same with him. Like I had to listen to that mother like 5 times to be like, okay, I get where you're going with it now. But I'm still growing into that. Like I'm not 100% accepting it. Like, oh, this is it. Boom, boom, boom. I'm like, I'm gonna take my time to see what can I mess with, and what can I not mess with. Because it's crazy.
People will only be convicted with the gospel when they hear the gospel. I personally experienced that. I went to a play called Hell Night, and I was kind of against Christianity. And this was during my break period, and I heard a gospel rapper, and I was like, that's what I used to do. And I was like, man, hit me right here. 100% gospel, not watered down, in your face. And I felt love, I felt conviction, and it brought me to the altar just because of that guy. And I was like, that's what we're supposed to be doing. I knew it. But there are two approaches. There will probably always be two approaches. I don't know if there will always be an argument between camps. You know, maybe one day we'll all kind of work with each other, but I don't know.
You good?
I'm good.
Oh, just make sure.
Yeah, so you feel myself.
All right. But and it's definitely a good point to bring how there is two approach to presenting the gospel, and it's definitely going to be an undeniable, unstoppable debate on which one is better.
Yeah.
But as long as it's a healthy one, then we all can learn from it. Especially one side that believe that we should give the gospel like this, hardcore, don't hold nothing back, and there's the other side like, no, we need to just welcome them in with love and gentleness, and then set the table right for them to appreciate the gospel. To me, they both are good ideas. It just need to be done right.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah.
Okay. There is a question dealing with something that we all are part of, and many others. You started like I would say a CHA coalition in St. Louis, dealing with all the local hip hop artists, especially within St. Louis and East St. Louis. what's the heart behind that coalition?
Well, I want to be able to help the rappers who want to have shows but don't know how to do it or can't get any shows. Most of the time it's because they don't know how to do it. Or, maybe lack the drive to be able to do it. Or lack the resources or the friends or whatever, networking. But I want to be able to help those who really have a desire to reach people for Christ, but don't have the open door yet. It's hard for them to get in while other people are getting in just fine.
Mm-hmm.
So to kind of level the playing ground, man. Clicks are fine, but they're very much like nature. And if CHH, what's CHH stand for?
Christian hip hop.
Okay, right. Community, right? We're
Mm-hmm.
supposed to be community, right? A community works together.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have cliques and then you start competing, you're not really working together. And that's the thing with Reach Records is right now the pinnacle of that.
Mm-hmm.
But the 116 click. But we're operating just like the world.
Mm.
Just like the world, business-wise, just like the world. Selling records, doing the promos, and all that's fine, man, if you want to expand yourself, whatever. But doing the photo shoots, wearing your logo, your record label. I represent this T-shirt designer, this, and air albums. And as soon as I get out there, it's like, hey, y'all go see me Twitter, this, Facebook. I'm on the mic. Find me on Facebook, and everything is so business now, and we're so cliquish. But if I say, hey, man, I don't want to work with this guy. I don't want him on my show because he may not be able to rap that well.
Mm.
Well, man, go show that guy, help him out. And so I spoke with somebody on the phone recently about that, and they were like, yeah, it's cool to help people out, but when somebody is asked to help, they want to know, how does that benefit them? Mm-hmm. And I remember thinking that the Bible said to love others more than you love yourself, but to put your brother ahead of yourself. Mm. And so if I help you out as a brother in Christ to get better, then I'm helping the gospel, man. Mm. If I help you get better beats, if I help you write better, if I help you sing better, I don't know if I can do that, but if I can help you sing better, if I can help you whatever, man, or network better, or get more shows, I'm improving the look of the gospel. So anyone listening to this, if you get a lot of shows, help other people. If you don't, specific people you don't want to work with because you think they're whack, help them. Mm-hmm. And hopefully they'll be open to listen to your criticism, but help them get better because you're only helping Christ. If we had 20 or 30 people across St. Louis that all sounded dope and they were all Christian, how awesome would that be? Instead of having 5 people or 8 people. This is community, man. It's not this clique over here. Oh, we might as well start our own record label too, because everybody has their own record label nowadays. This clique over here, man, we got our own shows. We might work with this clique a little bit here, but man, we just need to keep working and working and working, man. We all need to work together and network together because that's what the kingdom of God looks like. And Jesus said, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven.
Yeah. Yeah.
We ain't going to have cliques in heaven, man. So we got to break past that. We operate like the world. Mm. We operate like animals, man. Animals running packs, wolves running packs. Mm-hmm. We are kings and queens of the earth. Mm. And God is the king of all kings. Mm-hmm. And we're supposed to work together as brothers. In heaven, man, we're not going to be thinking about this. Right. We're going to be thinking about how we help each other out, how we're obeying Christ, and maybe being judges here and there. Being kings in certain ways in heaven. We're going to be promoted. We're going to be giving gifts. But man, we're going to be so selfless in heaven. But here we are so concerned about our career.
Mm-hmm.
I'm concerned about my career, so I'm going to work to benefit me. Here, come feature on this album. Come feature on this. Come feature on that. But as far as that, I already got my whole crew. You know, so this has been a thing that I've ran up against constantly. That in the late 90s, it wasn't that bad. There were cliques, but it wasn't that bad. People wanted to work together. But this is what I ran up against, especially here in St. Louis. But in Kansas City, it was the same way years ago. And in every city, I guarantee you it's the same way. We work and operate just as the world operates. And we're not supposed to be like the world. We're called to be peculiar people.
Peculiar.
So we have to work together. We have to work together. So, you know, I just open up my services. Any of y'all ever want to get on, you Facebook me. This ain't a plug for my Facebook page, but you can message me. Give me 3 contacts. I build contact lists and I mail them out to whoever has submitted me 3 contacts. So you have your own contact list, and I'll set up shows. You can set up your own shows based on the contact list, but the playing field will hopefully be level for everyone. And different shows, different people, not same people on different shows. Just share it, man. It's all about sharing. You know, we act like we're in survival mode. You know, it feels like a Walking Dead or something. You know, like here, I hoard all my food. You keep your food, and if you're weak, I'll go take your food so I can have my food. You know, no, man. In heaven, everybody eats, man. We're gonna have the supper in heaven. When we go to heaven, we're all gonna eat.
Right.
So, yeah, that's my take on that.
Yeah, I think, and we talked to Mark Ank about this a couple of weeks ago about support. I think I'm gonna implement a phrase here, and y'all can do whatever with it. I'm not gonna copyright nothing like that. I'm gonna call.
Come on,
I'm gonna call this being click hurt.
Come again?
Click hurt. A lot of people experience click hurt. Like for the past 3 years, I noticed a lot of people have different motives as far as getting quote unquote put on. A lot of people are complaining about like some of the people that we know are not collaborating with them simply because they think they too good, they got their name out there, they want to. Nah, it's just like I think the number one reason why people trying to distance themselves from the other people that are trying to get put on is because these people are higher up who work their butt off to get to where they are, don't want to experience like you being they taking advantage of them. A lot of people don't want to be used,
right?
As to, because if I would come to you, I don't know you, I just met you for the first time, I just heard you on YouTube, you just put Man on Construction out, and be like, hey man, you know another project? Let me get on your beat, man. And you look at me funny like, do I know you? Or if you want to get to know me? Or, no, forget all that. I just want to be on your project. How that sounds to you? Or you?
I definitely will feel very disrespected.
Right? You see what I'm saying? So that's the one thing I noticed. And another thing is the motive. A lot of people just trying to line their pockets. I've seen that a lot. Or they think they're so dope. They're just, number 3, people think they're so dope that even Shu says this, that you automatically supposed to gravitate towards that artist. I'm like, first of all, if you don't have no fan base, you ain't trying to commune with people, like Chris said, get to know people, build that relationship, people won't work with you because you're already big-headed. But that's just my opinion.
Yeah, I've been a little guilty of that as far as thinking that I'm this good where people should just automatically like my music, and it's not like that. People don't function like that. When we make music, we have to make it to serve people. And to get people emotionally involved in the music. When you make music and when you write, you're supposed to give of yourself and not just want people to come to you. That's selfish. Music's supposed to be a give, and just hope that your seeds are being planted, man, and that people will, you'll be able to reap the harvest and all that. But see, Micah, I'm really proud of him, especially the fact that he got his music video on Rapzilla.
Yeah, which cost a lot of money.
Which seemed like an impossibility, daggone it.
Right.
But he probably, you got like Fizzle right here in St. Louis. In my opinion, see Micah.
Right there.
Anybody else other than that, that's including myself. So if you hear this and you're under that, I'm including myself, okay? Have no right to really sit here and think that I'm too big or I've worked way too hard to not work with anybody. I would understand Fizzle, man. I guarantee you his inbox is hit up on Facebook like crazy. Hey, this, and that. Hey, man, can you feature this and this? Like, man, no. I only write so many verses a day. But it is true that you do not want people to use you and to bypass building a relationship, man. That's absolutely true. Yeah, that's a good point. Relationships are important. It's the number one thing in life, man, is building relationships, because it's not about how much money you make. You can have the best hospital bed when you die, but what matters is who's around that bed.
Ooh. Message. Too much. But you are definitely right. It's definitely better to network. It's like a lot of people within music don't seem to know how powerful networking really is. It's like like you say, hospital bed can be good, but surrounding that mug is priceless.
And I think the fourth thing is, as far as going clicks, and a lot of people who are trying to come up don't know that people just don't have time. People have families like you. You got all the time in the world. You got like 2-3 mouths to feed. Six. You know what I'm saying?
6 kids, man.
Man, I salute you, bro.
Or if we do have the time, when we invite people on, people once again get click hurt, talking about, oh man, you just doing that because you put yourself on. Like, dude, I just invited you into this set.
Right.
That's not my fault that you rejected. If I give you a resource, I put it in your hand. I know I put it in your hand. I'm giving you stuff. It's not my fault you didn't use it. You see what I'm saying? That's another thing.
And that's what makes this not only this ministry, but this walk difficult, to know that there are a lot of tares as opposed to wheat that's trying to get in and just trying to blend in, fit in so bad that they have a hard time standing out and being known to the point where they be like, man, Chris, you got skills, bro. Like that. Boom, boom, boom. Just call it a day. It's like a lot of people. That's why I like checking on folks. Yeah. Like, I know one of these days you're going to collaborate. One of these days. But, man, what will be more better to see if you okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you good, but this whole, like, I understand the whole click thing. It's like you want to be around people that you know got your back. It's like you want to be more comfortable with people letting you know what's real and what's not, as opposed to just surrounding yourself with a bunch of folks that don't know what their real position is, but they already got it in mind, like, oh man, it's cool that I'm rocking with D, so I'm gonna go ahead and make sure that he don't do da 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 da, especially around these folks, because these folks make da 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 da. It's like, wait a minute, and you D be looking like, wait a minute, Who are you? I don't remember you rocking with me. But like, I definitely agree. Like this whole click thing needs to be more of a it needs to be more put down, set down, as opposed to build the walls up because you never know. That wall is gonna be difficult for that one artist that look up to people and be like, I used to look up to them, but now I don't know if I want to continue rocking with this person because that wall is too high for me to climb and there's no doorway to go through.
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely appreciate, what you bring to the table as far as bringing people together and networking and also fellowshipping and we definitely need to do more kingdom building as opposed to just building cliques.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. It's a blessing.
Oh,
It starts from the top up, though. I mean, if the highest, I agree with everything you guys said. Everything, the highest. Like you keep saying McCray and all them, the highest, if they can break away from their own cliques, but you have your own record companies because we operate just like the world.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess you have to a certain extent. But I spoke with, about a year ago, I spoke with Dax from LPG, Tunnel Rats, back in the day.
okay.
And we were talking about different things, and I remember he said, it always affected me. He said, if you are really going to be a Christian rapper, then stop selling your music. And it hit me, and I was like, that's impossible. Because you got to go tours. If you're trying to do tours, you got to sell your merchandise. You may have a record company that you're going to be accountable to if you get more famous and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But then, Humble Beast, go to their page. All their music is free.
Yep.
They make their money off of coffee
and shirts.
Yeah, shirts. Coming to speaking engagements, probably giving poetry, spoken word events.
Mm-hmm.
It's possible, man. But my opinion is the best record company that represents Christ the most is Humble Beast.
Ooh, I cannot disagree. That is like the perfect example. It's literally like the best thing since, and even though it's different, it's like the closest thing we got as far as crossmoving go for the past 10 years before 2010. Like Humble Beats has become that label that many people just don't pay attention to because it's always seemed like one, they're not as active as folks think they should, and two, their quote unquote system is different from everybody else because like you don't never think of hip hop and coffee.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They display coffee. It's more than just music and t-shirts, man. They coffee. That is so doggone mind blowing. It's like who?
It's like 50 Cent, that energy or that water drink.
Yeah.
Kind of.
That's amazing. So you are so right.
And propaganda and Braille used to not be like they were. Like Braille was more like Lecrae is now. Now when you watch Braille and that group that he's in,
Beautiful Eulogy.
all gospel, man.
All gospel.
And propaganda, if you really break it down, if it's not socially conscious, it's all gospel. Like propaganda came from the Tunnel Rats, and they were the battle rappers. That record company amazes me. I love that record company. Fantastic group of people. If anybody deserved a shine, it would be them. Out of anybody. And if I ever started a record company, personally, I would do it just like that. So, yeah.
Well,
but I was going to ask you guys a question if I can remember what it was.
Oh, that would be cool.
It was, but daggone it, I can't. It was, what do you guys think about what do you guys think about that record label? Oh, that's what it was. Okay, so that is like we talked about how Humble Beast is the ideal record label that represents Christ.
Mm-hmm.
But what do you guys think about Show Baraka being the first person to really break away from Reach Records? He was kind of the forerunner for this new movement of I am not a Christian rapper, I'm a rapper that's Christian. Now, like I said, it's gone back for years, but as far as the new generation of what's going now, the outspoken generation, he stepped out, he left Reach Records, and now he's joining that. So how do you think that's going to mix? You guys think he'll eventually be more gospel? Or
I mean, I don't think first of all, he said himself in an interview with DJ Wado, he never separates himself from the type. And if you listen to Talented Tiff, it's pretty much gospel if you listen to every third verse of that song. He's speaking of more social issues, which he should, but he's incorporating that by solving them issues with the Word of God.
Yep.
And that's what I like about that album. And as far as the Humble Beast side, I think I'm sorry to say this, but I think Lecrae Richard has got that little salty face a little bit when he's side to side with Humble Beast, because he was kind of like begging Subarak to come back, but Subarak had other plans, obviously. So
yeah, and I strongly, and like you said, like Joe Baraka being like the forerunner of this new, remix version of what's been going on for years. Mm-hmm. It was like I always said that if Show Baraka didn't step out of Reach Records, then we probably wouldn't get the Show Baraka of now. Or to the point, Lecrae wouldn't have no formula, the new formula, I would say. Because I always believe that, like, Show Baraka really wanted to do what Lecrae is doing now. It's just that he wasn't the face. He was the forerunner. He was either the first, second, or third leg, but he wasn't the anchor.
Yeah.
So for him to exclude himself away from Reach Records for Reach Records to be like going from like the second best record label to Cross Movement to now becoming the number one Christian record label, or if they want to consider themselves a hip hop label, that's on them. But for him to be on Humble Beast, where he can really do what he really wanted to do when he wanted to do it in Reach, with the resources, plus he got Propaganda, who probably gonna be like the D to me. He's going at that combination alone, and it's already spoken of when you listen to Lions and Liars, and the excellent album with Propaganda, excellent album. It's like they're going to be some like some a bunch of this as well as a bunch of this involved from Show, because he's now not only got a place where he can really be him, but he also have a place where he can really grow, blossom, and find out, okay, I know I wanted to say it, now I know how I want to say it, as opposed to just going up. And because Talented Tent was a good project, a real good project, totally. Now that he's with Humble Beast, I strongly feel like this next project is going to be Talented Tent on steroids.
Yeah, don't you guys think he's gotten better since Liars and Liars? Or was it Lions and Liars, whatever it is?
Yes.
Yeah, he's gotten a lot better.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, man. I agree.
I definitely want to see the growth in that. Mm-hmm. But until then, you know what I'm saying, Chris? Let these good people know where they can hit you up at, and you know, where they want to continue chopping it up, sharpening it up with you, whether it's on your Facebook or whatsoever. All
right. Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, just look at Chris Sander and look for this face like this with the line kind of like that. It's kind of, everybody else looks different. So, yeah, look me up there. Feel free to inbox me, friend me, friend requests, all that stuff. And I love to hear from you guys. And, to be a minister to everyone that needs it. And if you haven't had a chance to accept Jesus in your heart, please do. If you don't know how to do that, all you have to do is just pray and just say, Father God, please forgive me for all my sins, and I'm a sinner, and I need to repent. And without you, I can't make it into heaven. Without Jesus, I can't make it into heaven. So please forgive me for all my sins and be the Lord of my life. And I accept you into my heart. And when you make that prayer, he'll come into your life and he'll change you from the inside out. Some of it will be immediately. Some of it will take years. But you'll slowly become a different person. And for him to be a Lord of your life, that means in every area. And that doesn't mean a bunch of laws, rules, or regulations. That means freedom from everything that's been holding you back. Freedom from your addictions. Freedom from your fears. And freedom from bad motivations. And to give you the courage to become a better person and to love other people. That's it.
Yeah, man. And if you ever get a chance, man, if you don't subscribe him on YouTube, trust me when I tell you, go and subscribe him on YouTube. He got some freestyle that will definitely be like some mind blowing stuff, man. Yeah, go ahead and check that stuff out, man. Check out his freestyle, all his freestyle if you can, if you literally can. Oh yeah, go get that Identity Crisis project. It's real good stuff, man. Check it out. And I'm not just saying it because he's here. Check it out. But if nothing else, man, we want to thank Chris Sanders, aka Chris Dow, for being a blessing to us and
Pierre,
also learning some good stuff from this man. And definitely want to hopefully get a part 2 of this in 3, 4, 5, 20, 21.
Amen.
Thank you, Lord.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for having me.
No problem, man. And there you have it. Another special edition of Iron Sharpens Iron Soapbox. Ooh, forgive me for stumbling. I am the boy, the Brick Slinger.
Mr. Analytical.
And as always,
Chris Senator.
Keep sharpening one another. Support the kingdom. Please support the kingdom. Take care and God bless. Laborers.